Hey guys, I'm Sam and I moved. Hello, yes, I did move. Yes, I moved into a studio apartment that is significantly bigger than the one I lived in before, so I'm feeling very rich, feeling like a wealthy woman. It's also a big enough studio apartment for it to sound super echoey in here, and you like that. That's gonna be your favorite part of the video, is the echoiness. So today I'm finally talking about the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation by MXTX. I finally read it, and everyone in my comments who told me that I was gonna love this series, y'all were right. You said I would go feral for the main relationship and the main romance in this, and you better believe it, I did. So we're gonna be talking about Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji and how incredible they are as a couple, and also just like some of my favorite moments and thoughts throughout the entire series. It's no secret to anyone who's seen my videos before that when it comes to these gay fantasy romance novels, I'm a lot more interested in the romance than the plot. However, with MDZS, with Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, you really gotta be paying attention to what the plot is. We're jumping back and forth in time. You gotta be paying attention to these flashbacks so that you understand what's happening. Also, everybody has like 3 names in this. So you really gotta be paying attention to what's going on, to who's talking, to which name is being used for which person at which time. And so you just have to be paying attention. That being said, let's talk about the romance. So from the beginning of their relationship, Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian, it's very obvious that they like each other. It's so obvious that they like each other. It's funny, as soon as Lan Wangji is introduced in the story, before you even know what his relationship to Wei Wuxian was in the past or any of their backstories or anything, it's like very obvious that Lan Wangji is in love with him. Even if it's never said, the subtext is written in all caps in bold. Like, we know from just the way that MXTX writes about these characters that obviously Lan Wangji is in love with Wei Wuxian and always has been. So then you start to see the flashbacks of the way that like when Wei Wuxian and his adopted brother Jiang Cheng come to the Lan clan's like little spot. I think it's the Cloud Recess is what it's called, to like study and learn about cultivation from them. That like from the jump, Wei Wuxian will not stop teasing Lan Wangji and like flirting with him, and it's very much that classic like, they even say later in the book, they even like literally say that it's that classic like boys pulling on girls' pigtails because they like them and just want attention from them in any way, positive or negative. They just want attention. That is very much Wei Wuxian with Lan Wangji. And it's so funny because Wei Wuxian is like not even conscious of the fact that that's what he's doing. He's so busy being goofy and silly that he's not even really thinking about that, like, obviously he keeps bugging Lan Wangji because he likes him. Like, obviously that's what's happening. But he's so oblivious and dumb that he didn't even know that's what he's doing. And then Lan Wangji, it's very obvious, is like struggling with how much he likes Wei Wuxian. Like, cause Wei Wuxian keeps teasing him and being annoying and being inappropriate and doing stuff he's not supposed to do, Lan Wangji's like, oh my God, he's so frustrated, but like, that's what he likes, you know? Like, he's like, oh, this is so frustrating. This guy is so annoying. I just want to pin him down and make love to him, you know? Like, it's very much that like, love, hate, passion. Like, there's a whole passionate love-hate relationship of like turmoil of how much he loves like what a bad boy Wei Wuxian is going on within Lan Wangji. But because he's so quiet and serious that nobody knows about this internal turmoil. Say that 3 times fast. Internal Actually, we're not going to try that. So you know that all these feelings are going on with him because, you know, like I said, the subtext is in bold and all caps that yes, he likes him. But nobody else knows. And Wei Wuxian, most of all, has no idea. He's completely oblivious. So going through and seeing all these scenes of them when they were younger, like with just like the banter back and forth, the way Wei Wuxian's always teasing him, that part, chef's kiss. That's like, give it to me. Give me more. I love it. I'm eating it up. It's delicious. Finally, some good fucking food. So great. So those are my favorite parts. I loved when we would like jump back to the flashbacks so I could see that. So then I could be like, okay, now I understand why their relationship in the present is the way that it is. Or like you looking back at their flashbacks understand the dynamic of their relationship better than Wei Wuxian does. So that's fun to see. And then I was also really especially in those early flashbacks, so obsessed with the relationship between Wei Wuxian and Jiang Cheng. Oh my God. Jiang Cheng is the name that I'm most worried about mispronouncing. Well, not the most worried, but one of them. So you know what? It is what it is. But their relationship as like brothers, fascinating. I was really fascinated by the backstory of that. At times, even more so than the romance, which is rare for me. But it's just because their relationship is so doomed from the start. Like, they are set up to be enemies by their family, like without even knowing that that's what's happening. The way that Jiang Cheng's dad obviously likes Wei Wuxian better than him, the way that the mom knows that and is pissed about that, and the way that they're always being compared to each other, specifically Jiang Cheng being compared to Wei Wuxian and everyone being like, oh, Wei Wuxian's so much better than you. Like, doomed. Their friendship is doomed because they're like brothers and they care about each other. But this outside comparison shit, doomed. Let me tell you, all the relationships were actually very like compelling and interesting to me, where I was caught up in everybody's story. I was even caught up in the whole backstory about that blind guy and the little ghost girl who pretended to be blind and the evil guy. Like, I was caught up in that. And we were getting that flashback before we were getting crucial flashback information about the main characters. But I was still caught up in it because it's written so well and told in such a like compelling way. So obviously the reason why we're here, the best part of the whole thing, is the romance. That is why we picked up these books. We wanted to see that gay romance, and this couple is so perfect for each other. They are so funny together. The way that it's like opposites attract and the way that they complement each other so perfectly, because Wei Wuxian will not shut the fuck up and Lan Wangji never talks. So basically Wei Wuxian can just be like loud and annoying and talk, and Lan Wangji will just listen to him and be like, I love him, that's my baby. It's so funny seeing them together, and it's especially, we gotta talk about the scenes where Lan Wangji gets drunk. That first of all, he's been saving this Emperor's Smile wine because he knows that Wei Wuxian likes it. Like, he doesn't even like this stuff. He's just saving it in case Wei Wuxian comes back to life and comes to visit him. Like, it's crazy. And when Lan Wangji finally does get drunk with Wei Wuxian, all of those scenes, hilarious, incredible. Like, it's so obvious in the way that he behaves that he wants Wei Wuxian desperately and wants to fuck him into oblivion, which he eventually does do. But just like the way that has so much like pent up horniness that's finally getting released a little bit, iconic. It's incredible. And the fact that Wei Wuxian still isn't really picking up on it at that point is also equally iconic. The dumbest boy in the world. So dumb, so stupid. My favorite dumb Wei Wuxian moment is when Lan Wangji ties him up with his forehead ribbon. Lan Wangji literally parades Wei Wuxian in front of all the teens, all the little juniors, with his hands tied up with the forehead ribbon. And these juniors, they're from the Lan clan, so they know what the forehead ribbon symbolizes. They know it symbolizes restraint, and they know that the only person who can take off your forehead ribbon is your true love. And so with Wei Wuxian being tied up by it, and Lan Wangji like, that's my baby, that's my husband, that's the love of my life right there, he's mine. Like, they all know what's going on. The kids know. Wei Wuxian is over here like, what a silly time. What a goofy, silly time. And especially when the teens like reveal that meaning to Wei Wuxian, he's like, what does the forehead ribbon symbolize? And they're like, it symbolizes that Lan Wangji is in love with you and wants to fuck your brains out. And Wei Wuxian is like, damn, that's crazy. You think? And then continues throughout the story, throughout several more drunk encounters, where the one where they literally, where Lan Wangji, the one where Lan Wangji is literally like, give me a bath. Great scene, by the way. Great scene. And then they start like making out, like they're about to fuck. And Wei Wuxian is like, I'm taking advantage of him because he's drunk. I'm such a bad person. Like, he wouldn't want to do this if he was sober. Girl. And like, have I been in a situation where it was equally as obvious that someone had feelings for me and not picked up on it? Yeah. Okay, so am I one to talk? No. But I mean, by the time they're like about to fuck in the bathtub, I feel like that's your key right there. I feel like that's like, okay, yeah, no, he wants you, you know? Okay, and we have to talk. There's so much to cover. Like, I'm hyperventilating. The feral instincts are setting in. I'm transforming into a werewolf as we're speaking. Like, the way that their romance develops, every little tiny scene that shows just how in love with Wei Wuxian Lan Wangji is. Like, this is why MXTX needs to write a man for me. She needs to write a male character who's a simp for me, because she does it so well. But Lan Wangji says and does so many things where he like defends Wei Wuxian no matter what, sticks with him when everyone turns against him, is such a like ride or die loyal person. And Wei Wuxian is like, I don't think he likes me very much, so I don't know why. It's like, it's so insane that he doesn't see how obvious it is that Lan Wangji is in love with him. It's also insane that Wei Wuxian doesn't see how obviously he is in love with Lan Wangji, like, initially. It's so funny. The scene where Wei Wuxian confesses his feelings to Lan Wangji. Guys, I mean, do we even have enough time to talk about this scene? Like, is there enough time in the world for me to talk about this scene? Because, I mean, okay, so first of all, they had that, like, sexual moment where they were about to, like, fully have sex, and then Lan Wangji, like, suddenly sobers up, which I'm like, does that happen? I guess it kind of does. I don't know. Lan Wangji suddenly sobers up and is like, oh my God. And they're both being so weird and not realizing that the other one is into them. Like, they were about to have sex, but now that like Lan Wangji's sober, now they're both being weird. Like, it's so goofy. They're so stupid. But then when Wei Wuxian gets captured by the main villain, whose name pronunciation I forgot to look up, so whoops. When Jin Guanyao has Wei Wuxian and Lan Zichen captured, and he's like, oh, Lan Wangji is gonna come get you and gonna come try to save you. And Wei Wuxian is like, how do you even know that? And Lan Zichen, Lan Wangji's brother, is over here like, wait, do you seriously not know that he's in love with you? Wait, I'm sorry. I know we just got captured and this is a tense situation, but do you seriously not know that Lan Wangji is in love with you? And Wei Wuxian is like, what? And then sure enough, Lan Wangji shows up to save Wei Wuxian. And it's a very tense situation, you know? But Wei Wuxian is over here like, wait, he's into me? what? He's like just now figuring out that Wangji has not only always been in love with him, but even like revealed to him that he was in love with him in like a very traumatic moment. So that like Wei Wuxian doesn't even remember. So Wei Wuxian is like finally putting all the pieces together and finally like leaving the stupid zone and figuring it out. Like in that moment, in front of everyone, in the climax of the story, he's like, I really did want to have sex with you earlier. Icon. Stupid icon. This is the funniest romantic confession I've ever seen. Hilarious. And then when they finally like get a moment to kind of like talk about it, and he's like telling Lan Wangji like, hey, look at me. I really do like have feelings for you. I didn't realize, you know, like he's finally like explaining himself, because this whole time Lan Wangji has just been thinking that like Wei Wuxian's essentially been making fun of him, because like Lan Wangji over here has thought the whole time that Wei Wuxian knows how he feels, and Wei Wuxian's over here like, I don't know. So this whole like confession scene is so sweet, and when they finally like, he's like, I want you, I love you, you're the only one for me, and Lan Wangji's like, what? You love me? You want me? Oh my God. Like Lan Wangji's like, holy shit, all my dreams came true. Nothing matters. Like literally nothing else matters right now. This is the best day of my life. And they hug. Incredible. Loved it. Ate it up. Reread it multiple times. Incredible. Incredible romantic confession scene. Hilarious. Them finally getting together. So sweet. So iconic. And when they do really kind of like team up together and save the day, it's just so beautiful. Their relationship, I love it. I love it. It's so important to me. And yeah, after finishing the series, did I go look up Wei Wuxian Lan Wangji fanfiction? Yeah, I did. But what's great about Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation in comparison to Heaven Official's Blessing is the smut. Because before the series even ends, after everything has been resolved, everybody's identity's been revealed, everything's been put together, the whole thing has come together, Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian are like leaving together, and it essentially ends with Lan Wangji pinning Wei Wuxian down in the ground, into the grass, and fucking his brains out. And they like, you know, like Heaven Official's Blessing is so like sweet and like chaste compared to this, where Lan Wangji is fucking Wei Wuxian like into another dimension, just like out here on the side of the road. Scandalous. Loved it. Incredible scene. And then you go into the additional extras, the extra stories, and there's more. There's more fucking. Like, they just, like, you know, I didn't know what MXTX's potential as a smut writer was. But her romantic scenes that she writes, next level, unparalleled. And don't even get me started on the extra. And y'all who read this book know exactly which extra I'm talking about. Where basically Wei Wuxian shoves the hilt of a sword up his ass in front of Lan Wangji. It's like, need I say more? Insanity. I couldn't believe it. My face was like so red reading this, because for someone who loves gay romance, I'm pretty like vanilla and tame. So when I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my God. That shit was crazy. I mean, honestly, the stuff on AO3 doesn't even compare to what she wrote herself and put in her own story. And that's brilliant. And that's an icon. And that's a legend right there. MXTX, you did the damn thing. All that to say, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation was incredible. I loved it. I did go feral for it. It was great. And yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about it all the time now. Wuxian and Wangji are about to be taking a nice, space in my brain, living rent free. They've just moved in, and I'm so happy for them that they found a nice place in my brain to take up space. Love that. And I feel like being so confused in the beginning in like the first two books was really worth it for the payoff in the end where everything comes together and it all makes sense and you get the full picture. Like MXTX is a genius. And now I've officially read all of her books. Oh, say hello to Danny. Cameo from Danny. So yes, I've now read all of MXTX's books. I can say that I am a true fan. I haven't talked about Scumville and Self-Saving System on here yet, but if people want to hear about that too, leave a comment. Everybody just leave a comment talking about your favorite romantic moment from any of MXTX's books, especially Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I need to scream about them with people. So join the conversation with me, and thank you guys so much for watching and keeping up with my little gay fantasy romance videos, and have a great rest of your day. Bye. Am I an MXTX fan? Pull up in the Wangji.